It's day 38 where I post a game every day until I reach 500 elo. My current rating is 310. Okay, so we are going to start doing a reverse London. Okay, so I ended up putting my wig on and it was sideways and I don't know, really kind of looked funny, so I left it. Now I look like a Jeopardy champion. Okay. All right. So we'll keep the material equal. Again, I can get out of my gitted. I have to watch my queen where she is. And so my opponent is 274 rated. And we are definitely want to put our queen a little safer. And I'm going to get first mountie out. Make sure that, okay, this here is protected. And my queen is not under attack. And I have this pawn as well, which is both there. If I push it, then that I'm going to get this mountie out as well. And it will also get that square protected another time. And I always do, okay, if I do that and he comes down, I'll mess up that. I might actually consider going on to queen side for a castle. So oh, what am I doing? That was kind of neat. I made a little arrow. I didn't even notice. Okay, I gotta watch a bunch of different things. As always, there's about a million things to watch in a chess game until a bunch of pieces are taken off the board. Then it becomes a little simpler. Okay, so I was wondering when the queen was going to get attacked, which it is now. So we are going to put her maybe back here so that my rooks will eventually get to be developed together. And that pawn is there. We will bring our other mountie out, which is going to be protecting that square when I start moving it, and that pawn there will be attacked twice automatically. So I prefer to get pieces developed before a lot of things start happening. And I'm going to do this, and then my king is going to go over into his house. I could have considered doing a queen side castling, though I see a lot of pawns coming in on my side over here, which makes it where I don't want to do that. Okay, so let's have a look. Always got to watch. There's a lot of things to watch out for, and he's got quite a bit there. I'm going to castle so that I can get my rooks into this as he's getting his. And I actually put that bishop here, it would be protecting that pawn as well if I push it. So at the moment, this square is protected by my knight. If I push it, it is attacked by his knight and his pawn. So if I move that bishop there, though, there's an attack that would start becoming a problem. If I do that, he takes, and then I take back. He took the defense off that spot. Now is he looking to try to take that? That is not looking very promising. And if I move this, then my queen still protects this bishop, which is under attack. So I will push the pawn now, I think. Hey, look, because if he takes that pawn, it just... I could also just consider getting the rook in here behind there, though I might do just fine if I push it right now because it is only defended by that. And my knight, okay. So we'll push that there. Because he's taken that knight off of the attack there. And the defense, whatever you want to call it. So this pawn will have to decide what it's going to do, as my pawn is now attacking it. I take. He pushes it, attacking my knight. And my knight goes, say, up here. It could be looking at that. And it does have to move for sure. So we're going to do that. Attacking that and hopefully not getting myself into trouble. And we will see, as this is protected by the queen. So now if I go here, I'm attacking his queen. My knight is protecting that. Because that bishop right now does not have very many squares to go to. Here. So currently his queen is under attack. This bishop is under attack. So if that queen is removed, then I guess the rook will be there to defend that. And the knight is looking here. So there's quite a few things that are happening. He's got his knight looking at that as well. I get my rooks more centralized here, and he has pushed that pawn. Wants to really cut off where my bishop can go, which I can go back here, and if he does that kind of a move, and he has one more square to go back, so okay. So if I was to take that right now with my knight, I am attacking that. Oh no, he just takes with his queen. That's no good. That's not option. and comes up attacking my knight. And so I could decide if I want to remove that, and he takes back with the queen, so I don't lose material. I'm up +2. I could do that. This is looking over here, and so I believe I will do that so that my knight is just basically getting kind of in trouble there. So this other knight, and if I bring my bishop up, it puts him in check. He has to either go into the cobber or right over here. So what else is happening here that I have to watch out for? I also need to get my rooks developed better. So I'm going to take this rook and put it over here, and hopefully eventually this here can be blowing something open, because that is attacked by my knight as well. So my queen, obviously the white, look at all his pawns are just totally right down the white, taking the white squares away. So my fortunate thing for me is I have a black bishop. I put it there, keep talking about putting it there and putting him in check. And obviously, if my knight did something else, could go here and then go back up to here. If that knight is undefended. If I do move this knight, the bishop is attacking it. I want to disconnect my rocks, so we'll see. I push that pawn, he takes, I take back. And what else does he have there? The queens are then looking at each other. He's got his rocket behind there, saying I'm up +2, so maybe that isn't such a bad thing if I could just get everything good as possible. So if he pushes there, he's attacking my bishop, but I just take it. So if I push now, then I force something to happen there. So this piece here. Okay, so this is actually not protected. I could get something, work on that. We have to figure out what happens here with these pawns and everything. So got plus material, and as I always say, that matters not at all, because 5 minutes from now I could be down material. So thinking for a while. I've had to really think about moves, and there was pieces that I could easily have figured it out a lot sooner, but I just never came up with it. So my bishop gets under attack. I obviously can't, well, if I can't just take there, obviously move my bishop, he's kind of getting a little bit tightened up there. So avoiding taking any of these pawns as much as I can. And so I think I'm gonna have to start looking at taking here. If I take, he takes there, then he's still got that pawn there. And my knight will be over. I need places for my bishop. That pawn is causing me problem because there's so many up where my bishop would like to go. Because my bishop is really getting in trouble for places to go. I feel like this might start getting things a little better. I hope. Who knows, because it could just end up blowing right up into my face. It'll blow up so that my wig goes on properly. Or it'll be like when in Star Trek when Tribbles when made his face go. Didn't like the so right now I can take his queen. Okay. And back obviously. And do I continue and say I take that? He takes with the pawn, so that really isn't in my favor. I could put him in check with my bishop. Then what? Well, I take that with the knight. His knight is under attack over here, and then it would be just taken by the pawn anyway, so it's not really that threatening of a problem. I take here, he takes with the pawn. Why would I do that? I push this up. I'm attacking there, and he takes, and I take with the knight. Oh, and so if I do put him in check, is there anything there that I would be doing? Moves, and then he's got a lot of pawns coming in. That can't move. These are kind of holding things off a little bit. The queen can't go anywhere up there. See, my queen is kind of cut off from where she can go right now because of all the pawn things. If she went here, cut off my bishop. Okay, so I'm obviously wasting time. I put him in check. Does that do anything? I'll put him in check and just see. Doesn't always mean that it's a good thing to do. So he blocks with the bishop. So then if I take the bishop, he'd have to take with the rook, which would take a defense off this. Because now I take that, he has to take with the pawn, and then my queen, is that so good? Or if I push that pawn, knight here is protecting that square, and if he pushes that pawn there, then what can happen? Okay, it's showing I'm up +8, so in my opinion, I have to be careful that I don't just blow it, which I often do. So he's got so many on everything. Why would I give my knight for a pawn? That would be a question I have to. Questionable move. I push that, attacked by this, that, and only protected by this. Well, that is not so great. Maybe I could get my other rook behind it there. And gonna get that happening. So would I actually move this up and attack the knight? There is reasons I sometimes don't like doing that, though in this position it might be an idea because his knight would have to then move. He could take this, but he just loses his knight. And there are not a whole lot of squares for that knight to go to. Goes back here, it cuts off the rook from that attack at the moment. And if it goes there, well, it's on the rim and it's also a little trap there too. My queen, what can she do? She can go where? Got a lot of pawns here that would like to start getting removed. One up there. Now, if I push that, he's got the rooks on it and that pawn, and I got my knight, my rook. He's got, so he takes, I take, he takes, I take. So I'd be getting rid of a knight or a rook. That all fell through the way. But let's see. Push. He takes. I take. For some reason I can't figure this out. Okay, I push. Okay, so there's 2 pawns off. My knight, I take his rook. Pushes it. Okay. Okay, so he does that to attack my knight. And I take it. Takes me back. My knight right now has where to go. No place. Because if I takes me back. And my queen can come up, take that knight. So if I take his knight, he takes mine. And I'm very close to his king. That. Yeah. Now we have where there's a bunch of different pawn attacks. So if I right now take that with my pawn, the only way he can take it back is with his rook. And then I win a rock, but then he can come. No, that's protected. Okay. Go like this. And I see this square as my queen is looking at that, or if he doesn't take that pawn or cause a problem. Our rooks are kind of looking at each other. He takes that, puts me in check. Oh, I missed that, didn't I? Figures. But then I have a queen and he has a rook. So he puts me in check. I obviously have to go up here. And I'm still that square. So what has he done? He's done that. If I put my queen right here, is it checkmate? What can he do? Checkmate. Oh, I'm very glad that that worked out because I was looking over here and it did look a little sticky. And I'm very happy that worked out. Thanks for watching. Bye.